Peter, how are you?
Yes, I'm just fine. And how is it down under in Melbourne? Is it Melbourne
It's
in Australia?
good.
It's good.
Pardon?
No, is it? Are you in Melbourne?
Yeah, Melbourne.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a beautiful,
Melbourne.
sunny, crisp morning. Yes.
Ah, that's great, great. I'm so happy to have you here, and I will let everyone who is listening right now to let them know why I'm so happy because the previous spiders for today has been those who has been so professional in the spiders. They have lived with the spiders for maybe 10 years and they have really connected and know exactly how everything's work. And you are here as a really, really fresh spider. And you have just started to get to know your driving forces. Is that correct?
I have, yes. So I'm new to it and understanding it, and Frida's been
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, so I think that would be really nice to have a chat with you and show how it is when you start to getting to know your driving forces, because it's not easy, it's not obvious, and so I will ask you some questions. But it's also interesting, the story. I met you for, no, I never met you, but I talked to you for, is it 2 years ago? Yeah.
I think it was 2 years ago. Yes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. I think it
And
was around May 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and the reason I talked to you were that you have met a good friend of mine, Christian Borgelund, down in Melbourne when he was there on vacation. Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and today Nicole, she's not my spider client. Actually, she's my grandkid, my spider grandkid, because her life spider coach is Frida Cabo, who's in New Zealand. So, so there we just have a little background, and now it's just to relax and join those this time we have together. So, general, if I can ask you, how have you experienced to do your spider and specifically working with the driving forces? Your experience, your
Um,
feelings, or thoughts?
Yeah, well, generally I would just chat to Frida and there'd be something that would be, I don't know, going on in my life, and we'd just talk about it, and suddenly it would appear. There'd be like something that I guess I was wanting but kind of holding back with, and it would kind of lead to this kind of discovery. And when I would feel the energy of it, there'd be just this like this relief and this I don't know, it just felt really, really good. So
Yeah,
as soon as I
yeah.
hit that point, it would be amazing. But it was kind of like this easy discovery, this kind of flowing discovery, and
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of happened. What's been happening organically. It hasn't been like this, wow, I know it all now. It's
No.
been a slow but really kind of fulfilling, satisfying process.
Yeah, and that's interesting you are saying, and to tell everyone that to discover a driving force, it's like you are saying, it you take one step at a time. But the great thing that you describe now is that when you are getting the right one, you feel it. It's like kind of it's hooked hooked into your body.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And it feels, it just feels really amazing. And you kind of leave the session with this really strong feeling that just feels really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we who are sitting on this other end, we always can see this special smile in the face when a driving force is kind of landed in the body in the light spider. So that's an amazing movement. Mm. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So if we are going to focus a little bit on your what you call high priestess as your driving force. So what do you feel about that driving forces right now?
Right. Well, it has it's kind of come about, well, I guess it's always been there, but it's just been a process of it's just kind of just come out in my life. And then I've talked about it with Frida, and And when it's come out, which has kind of been more in it's kind of hidden because it's not like a big public thing. But when it's come out, it's been really strong, really powerful, and really, it's just felt really, really good and very natural, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of idea do you have that this high priestess will do for you, or in what way will it change your life or what you are doing?
Well, when she comes through, I would say she is very succinct and very strong and very kind of like cuts through to the truth in a way. And I guess I just know things, and yeah, it just comes through in a very kind of almost detached way, I would say, and unexpected way. And when it happens, I just feel really amazing. So yeah, it's come out in a few situations really strongly.
You are saying this come out. So can you describe how was it before it come out? Do you remember?
Well, it's like, it's like an energy comes over me, I would say, like a power. And I just sort of follow it, and it just kind of expresses itself through me. And when it does, I just feel so good. Like I just feel amazing. Really amazing. So yeah, that's happened.
Yeah. This is, I'm just talking to you who are listening. This is how they look like when you just discover a driving force. It's kind of a little bit that you are falling in love with the same feeling, because you find this power in yourself that you're describing, and a good feeling. Okay. Yeah. So is there anything you want to tell everybody who is listening about the process to get to the driving force? What has been the hard part, if we can dig a little bit in that too?
Yeah, well, sometimes there's been like a so-called like problem, or I don't know, a sort of like a not like a big difficulty, but some there's like I've been pushing against a wall or something within myself, where there's been something wanting to rise up, and then this reluctance to let it kind of come out, or this perhaps judgment of it or something like that. And so we've explored a few different legs, and they're kind of evolving. And so just through talking, it's almost like switched, kind of like done a 180, and then suddenly there's this like, oh my God, that's what it is, and I'm allowed, I can express it. And then when you hit that spot, it just feels really, really good. And it's kind of interesting how in a session things can kind of unravel. And I don't plan the sessions, and when I have them, it's just this conversation that leads to this kind of like this point, and then everything kind of sort of fits in, and it just feels good. So I would say that in this discovery process, when you discover these parts of yourself, it just feels amazing, and it's like you're expressing more of yourself. So it just feels good.
Yeah, that's a good description. And it's also what you were saying, it feels like you are pushing against something, and that's actually what's happening when you try to get to a driving force, as I have been talking about earlier today. It's when you suppress your driving force, and you do it because it's judged, it kind of feel you don't want to admit it, you feels bad, so you try to hold against it. And then what you say and that's the skills of a life spider coach. Frida has probably been talking to you, ask you questions and ask around, and when all this the secret word got out, you were not aware about that you were saying it.
Yeah. It's like a little bit of a magical process in a way. And and it's actually kind of easy in a way as well, how it kind of just happens. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's felt good.
Yeah. Okay. So is there anything else? How do you, wait, I have another question, by the way. How do you think that this driving force, your high priestess, will evolve? Or do you think it's ready right now? Or do you think it will become even more powerful?
Yeah, it's definitely going to evolve, because I can kind of see that. At the moment, I would say I'm allowing it out in just particular circumstances,
Yes.
not in all circumstances. So, and when those times are really ripe, it really comes out with a vengeance. So I guess in the future, it will be in more of the time.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll just be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stronger and stronger, I would say. Yeah, it feels, yeah, it does feel good to express that part.
Yeah, that's no, and it's interesting, and I think also you say something important here is when you are starting to get to know a driving force and it's showing up, it's important that you maybe keep it for yourself and you don't show off in any environment, because you need to be in a safe environment, because in that it's so you are so vulnerable in that moment when the driving force is there, and it's just like a newborn baby just see the light and it's still scared to get hit or get killed or whatever. So I think that's a really wise thing of you to keep it for yourself a little bit until you feel really comfortable and really safe to use it full to the fullest. And
yes, yeah.
And I just think it's interesting. Maybe I think you should listening to the coming session, because I didn't know this, but that is my oldest spider, and she has the exactly same driving force as you have. So she has been living with it for a long time, and I think actually she has still a little bit trouble with it to express it fully.
Okay.
So it's a really powerful driving force, even though I mean it's a completely the drive, even if it's the same name, it's a different, but you probably have some you can recognize yourself and see, okay, what do I have to expect in the future?
Yeah, that sounds great. And I would have to say that this whole process, it hasn't felt forced either. It's kind of been what life has presented. So yeah, that's been good.
Okay. Have you had any other driving force you've been working with? We can just look at a little bit,
okay.
if you want
well,
to.
there's one.
If you want to.
There's one that I would call like the know-it-all one. That in certain circumstances, it's like I know all the answers and I want to say all the answers, but I kind of hold myself back. So I think, oh God, everyone will think I just know too much.
Okay. So this was also something you are talking about for your high priestess. What kind of, do you have got any intention in that spider leg yet?
Yeah, that's to help people reach their potential.
Yes.
Yeah, so
okay.
It helps.
So that's okay. So you want to help people to reach their potential, and that's kind of what you are doing in your work right now, in a way, or?
Yes, yeah, I do. Yes.
So how do you think, because here we can just as an example look at, how do you think that the high priestess will help you to make people to reach their potential? How do you think the ego and your intention will team up together?
Well, it's really just accessing my highest potential, really, and allowing myself to do that. Yeah. So it's just really letting that come through me fully, really.
And now you are mentioning another thing to understand with the intentions and the driving force and everything you start with to do for yourself. So you need to know every single piece of yourself for 100% before you can go out there and do it for others. So it's what you say, your driving force right now is helping you to reach your own potential.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So you said that's true. So how do you feel? Can you explain it a little bit?
So if I allow myself to access more of me and more of my abilities,
Yes.
and go there rather than hold back,
Yeah.
then that just comes through. And then I
Yeah.
help others do the same.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's kind of
so,
just going beyond, maybe even beyond an invisible box that I allow myself.
oh yes, you are on your way outside this invisible box. And you say, so the high priestess also in your picture of that driving force has what's it, access to certain knowledge.
Yeah. So it's just like I mean, it expresses itself in a few ways, but I'll just know stuff. I'll just see pictures and I'll just see things when someone talks to me, and I'll just know, and then I can really help shift things for them by reflecting back to them what I perceive, I guess, what I see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you have this, I mean, that's a skill of, and I call it a skill of knowing. You just have access to the information. And my guess is that your driving force, the more you get to know, because you are still discover and get to know your driving force and see what can it do for you, and it, as I said, it will expand. And what will happen is my guess that when you step into the full power of your driving force, I mean, you get the courage to really use the ability you know you have by reaching, get access to information, use your intuition, and you can express yourself, and that will be very useful in what anything you are doing, instead of right now maybe holding it back. Or some people I know, they are saying, oh, it's just a fantasy, it's just my imagination. And
Yes.
so my guess is, so what do you like that guess, that it will be a very
Yeah,
useful?
so it's more talking about it, to be honest. It's more not just using my hands, but actually talking about it. That's where it's really coming through, and saying it with words. So that's sort of outside my box in a way, really talking about it.
Okay. Because I can see my picture of a high priestess as a driving force. It's someone who is really, I mean, like a queen-like, and she has no problem to express herself. She can, and she's really verbal, brilliant, and so she has really easy with the words. And so I think you are absolutely right that you will be, you will. You are going to express things in words, not just quiet with whatever you are doing.
Yeah. So prior to now, it would be expressed through just me using my hands.
Yes. Okay.
And there's a whole nother level when I speak it. Yeah.
So now you are doing some kind of healing work, or
I am. Yeah.
Yes. Or yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so
Yeah.
we
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I work at shifting energy with my hands. And yeah, I can do that. I can be in that energy kind of naturally, easily, but to talk about things that I'm getting is a whole different thing, especially yeah, I guess it's coming, it's just more and more and more.
Yes, I think you really nailed it there. And that's why the reason, if we focus on the ego, you need to let your high priestess grow big time, because she is the one who is going to see that you are going to speak out loud, and have the same power as you have now with your hands, and you will be even more powerful. So that's what the high priestess is going to do for you. So it's more for you now. I see you have to really embrace it, admit it, and talk about your high priestess in safe environment with friends you really trust, or colleagues, or whatever, and just let it grow, let it grow. And now you get this beautiful smile on your face. So
Yeah.
So how do you
Yeah.
feel, before we are wrapping up a little bit, so how do you feel now when you know in the near future you will actually speak all your knowledge as well, not just working with your hands? So how do you
Yeah,
feel?
so it feels really good. But so far, like you said, I've it's just been in really kind of intimate one-on-one environments, and that's been really safe. So yeah, it feels good that I will allow it to grow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and expand.
that's so cool. And it will be, I'm excited to follow you and see what's happening, and checking in with you maybe in a few months and see you are out, and I will hear you be out there and speaking about magical things. So
Yeah, thank you, Brigitte. Yeah,
yeah,
that's wonderful.
okay. I think this has been an amazing talk, and we have touched lots of interesting subject for people who is listening, and it's an exciting journey. And thank you so much for being here, Nicole. So
Yeah, thank you as well, Brigitte. Thank
yeah.
you. It's lovely.
And bye, and thank you everyone who is listening. And as well, if you have questions to Nicole, I think she is prepared to get into the comments and answer the questions or communicate with you. Or am I right, Nicole?
Yes, yes,
Of course,
absolutely.
you can't say no when I do it like this. I'm sorry. So please
That's
ask
good.
questions. And here you have someone who is new on this. So and if you haven't discovered your driving force yet, Nicole is the person to talk to, because she knows where you are right now. So and you heard, she has an intention with you, want to help people to reach their potential. So please connect with Nicole, and I wish you a really nice chat and connections. Okay, so now over and out. See you soon again, guys. And thank you again, Nicole. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.